Hello everyone, Alec Alger the SideQuest Gamer here, and last summer during a live stream Sega hosted for Sonic's 25th anniversary, Sonic Mania was announced, as well as a few other minor things, like a trailer for what appears to be Generations 2, as well as brand collaborations with Hello Kitty. That's about it, basically. But what many people got out of the live stream was the announcement of Sonic Mania, with the trailer showing off the gameplay. A game that's supposed to be returned to form in 2D, and is even being developed by Christian Whitehead, famous for porting the Sonic 1, 2, and CD to iOS devices, as well as Headcanon and Pagoda West Games, being also the developers. And it looks like everything that 2D Sonic game enthusiasts would ever want out of a Sonic game, but the question is whether this is an evolution of the franchise, or just a cheap nostalgic comeback with not a lot to call its own. Sonic Mania, I will have to admit, has a really awesome trailer, boasting not only new levels, but remixed classic stages as well. Green Hill Zone looks relatively the same, but I do know there are going to be some level design differences and new boss battles. And as for new stages, they only shown off Studiopolis Zone, which has a great soundtrack by the way, and it looks really creative and well done, especially that popcorn machine that Sonic launches out of. Gimmicky, but not in a bad way, just the right amount of gimmicky to tell you Sonic Mania is going to be quite a similar yet different experience. One of the things I'm surprised not a lot of people pointed out was how Sonic in Sonic Mania runs much smoother than he did in the already impressive Genesis games. The running animations just seem a lot more fluid, like there are added frames of animation as opposed to the not as smooth running animations in the original Genesis games. The addition of the drop dash looks like a neat new move in Sonic's moveset. I just hope it isn't broken where it can be used to beat levels easily, because what made the original Sonic games so much fun was how earning your speed to get past an obstacle was like one of the main challenges. All the drop dash would do is have you jump in the air, drop, and then you'll gain a burst of spin dash energy when you contact the ground. I'm not saying the drop dash would be a broken gimmick, but I do hope developers make new obstacles to challenge the drop dash's capabilities. In other words, if they use the level design of the first 4 games, then the drop dash would make Sonic Mania too easy for its own good, and some remix stages do have classic Sonic level elements in them. However, there are concerns I do have about the remix stages themselves. Would the slight changes in level design be enough to warrant a purchase? The head of the Sonic team confirmed that there would be more remix stages than new ones in Sonic Mania. I'm all for the idea of remix stages, but some speculated that the remix stages and the new stages would have their own separate campaigns. At least that's what I was expecting. And I was hoping there would at least be more new stages than remix stages regardless, but to play a remix stage and then to play a new stage kind of takes away from Sonic Mania feeling like an entirely new game, and only a partially new game. It's like a new Sonic game being already sprinkled with fan service DLC levels. Sure, one could make the argument that if you liked the original stages before they were remixed, why would you not like it in Mania? Well, that's because new stages take the player to new sites. Players want to have to explore new stages instead of going through somewhat familiar territory. One argument to counter that I completely agree with is that Generations and Sonic the Hedgehog 4 had many stages based off classic ones, so remixes in Sonic Mania would already be a redundant concept. I can't tell you how many Green Hill Zone tributes there are in the franchise itself. Let's see, Emerald Hill from Sonic 2, Green Hills Zone from Sonic 2 Game Gear, Neo Green Hill Zone in Sonic Advance, the Turquoise Hill Zones in Sonic Chaos and Triple Trouble, Sunset Hill Zone in Sonic Advance 3, Green Hill Zone bonus level in Sonic Adventure 2, and Green Hill Zone in Sonic Generations, both 2D and 3D. Green Hill Zone alone has been remixed so many times in other entries. However, I've yet to see the other remix zones, so I'm not going to drop a guilty verdict yet when it comes to rehashing elements. And there are going to be 3 playable characters, the titular Sonic obviously, Knuckles, and Tails, but knowing no footage of their gameplay styles were shown off, I can't really comment on them. But I do hope a lot is done with them. Make each of their campaigns special, whereas Tails can fly to areas Sonic and Knuckles can't reach, while Knuckles can destroy certain types of walls and access secret areas Tails and Sonic can't reach. Kind of like in Sonic 3 Knuckles and Sonic Advance 3 to an extent. So as for the question, is Sonic Mania worth the hype? Well, even with the knowledge of the remix stages, I think so, but I do recommend not having a game already designed in mind, so much so that you'd be disappointed when you get the developer's version of it. The announcement of the classic stages being somewhat dominant in this game is a little off-putting to me personally, but I do hope that for the price of admission, we get a new enough experience. Sonic fans, as divided as they are, do deserve that much. Thank you so much for watching, and remember to stay awesome.